to Contracting Conversations. My name is Scott Williams, and I'm joined by my co-host, Jim Valley. Today, we are talking with Ed Needens, DAU's Learning Asset Manager for Con 1400V Contract Post-Award Course. Hey, Ed, welcome to Contracting Conversations.
Thanks for having me, Scott. It's a privilege to be here.
Well, absolutely. We're real happy you're here with us today. And Ed, to get us going, what can you tell us about Con 1400V and how this class is currently structured?
Oh, okay. Well, as you already know, Con 1400V is one of 4 classes required for the certification in the contracting career field. The class currently takes place over a span of 4 weeks with 2 mandatory VILT sessions each week. But beginning in fiscal year 25, it will be exclusively offered in a compressed 5-day version. The 5-day format will run full-time from Monday to Friday. Learners will finish faster, but during this 1-week period, learners will be engaged full-time throughout the entire week. Think of the class as being TDY for 1 week in a live classroom. When the instructor is not delivering the VILT, learners will be working on the asynchronous activities while the instructor is still at their desk in the classroom. Also, there is flexibility in the schedule for a proper lunch break each day. The focus each day will be on Con 1400V, and work center workload will not be competing for learners' attention. Supervisors will need to consider this as they develop their work schedules.
All right, Ed, I can't tell you how excited I am because we're going to be talking to all the lambs about these compressed schedules for 1100 through 1400. But this 5-day format is going to be fantastic. Supervisors I'm sure they're going to be thrilled that they're finishing up in 5 days. So can you describe what a learner can expect during a typical day in the 5-day format?
Yes, I can. Great question. A typical day will be 4 hours of VILT, that's virtual instructor-led training, and the remaining 4 hours of each day will be asynchronous work, which includes self-paced coursework, activities, and group work. Keep in mind that during the asynchronous hours, the instructors will still be available to answer any questions or make clarifications. Students can engage with the instructor at any time during the asynchronous hours.
Great, Ed. Hey, what is new in the 5-day format of Con 1400V that the learners can expect to see in fiscal year 25?
Okay, great question. We have 3 new features that I would like to highlight. The first one is a group exercise on managing changes. The second one is the comprehensive exam that covers units 1 through 4. In other words, all of the lessons throughout the course. And the third new feature is something we call an interactive Jeopardy game to help prepare learners for the exam. Let's talk about the changes exercise first. It is a group exercise that involves 4 scenario-based situations involving a contract change. The program office or the requiring office will come to you with a proposed change, and the learners need to determine if the change is within the scope of the contract and the contract can be modified. And what is the authority to make that change? In other words, what's the FAR or DFARS clause that allows for this change, and is it unilateral or bilateral? Is it a commercial or a non-commercial contract? The managing changes exercise also involves filling out 2 SF30 forms based on the scenarios. The focus here is how to properly document blocks 13 and 14 of the form. Regarding the comprehensive exam, that's 40 questions worth 60 points. We introduced a Jeopardy game we will play prior to the exam. The game serves as a final preparation for the comprehensive exam. It is a board game with 6 categories and 6 questions under each category related to Con 1400. So the topics or the categories include contract administration, performance, payment, contract management, subcontracting, and remedies and completion. It is a fun and engaging game and drives a little competition, too, among teams. It is also a wonderful review just prior to the learners taking the exam. So it knocks back some of the anxiety for the exam.
All right, thanks, Ed. So before I get to this next question I have for you, you mentioned 40 questions worth 60 points. What's the total points for 1400?
Okay, that didn't change from the 4-week version. So the total points is still 200 and passing is 80%, meaning that learners need to achieve at least 160 points to get a passing grade. And there are 5 graded activities for Con 1400B under the 5-day version. A couple of quizzes, a day 2 quiz, a day 4 quiz. The managing changes exercise is worth 60 points. I talked about that. The exam is worth 60 points. The Jeopardy game, which is the competitive game that we play at the end, is worth 10 points. And then we also have this new thing. It's not new, but we're going to carry it over. But we offer this in Con 1400B that you won't see in the other classes. It's called Muddiest Points, where students tell the instructor what topic they struggled with in each and every unit that we go over. So it's a chance for the students to ask very distinct questions and get one-on-one attention from the instructor regarding a clarification of that question. And those are worth points too.
All right, fantastic. And that Muddiest Points is something I think students like, right? Because we find out exactly where they struggle. So that's awesome. So my question is, so what can learners do to prepare for this course?
Good question. First of all, remember what you learned in Con 1100. The foundational skills learned in Con 1100, being familiar with and knowing how to navigate the FAR and the DFARs, will certainly carry over into Con 1400B. Additionally, for those that want to get a head start, you have access to the course content 1 month prior to the class start date, right? And so when you get into the course, the first thing you should do is download and review the course guide. It contains the syllabus. And if you want, you can even start working ahead on the self-paced coursework because it is available to you.
Okay, Ed, before you go on, I know there's a lot of reading in this course, and you say, you're going to have access to it 1 month prior. So is it a good idea, especially for students who maybe they'll read slowly and have time to maybe get a head start on the reading?
I think so. I think it's a good idea to peruse the material in advance to give you a good idea of what it is you're going to learn and where your focus, where your attention should be focused. But as far as critically studying each and every one of them ahead of time, I think you should save that until the class starts.
Okay, fantastic. Thanks, Ed.
Hey, Ed, I think you covered pretty well just a minute ago the fact that it takes 80% overall to pass the class, but I'm assuming attendance is kind of important as well.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. The directive for these classes is that the VILT sessions, the virtual instructor-led training sessions, are mandatory. And there is the allowable amount that a learner can miss is only 5% without extenuating circumstances. So those are mandatory. So that is really critical that you be in the classroom when those VILT sessions are scheduled.
Awesome. Great. Thanks for covering that, Ed.
Oh, you're quite welcome.
All right, Ed, thank you so much, first of all, for coming on the show. Is there anything else you would like to tell us about Con 1400V before we let you go?
I sure would. Yes. To be successful, I would just like to reiterate, when you register for Con 1400 and the class starts, be ready, be present, and be engaged on day one. The class logically builds on each preceding lesson. So it's real important that you attend and you keep up with the schedule. Ask questions. Ask as many questions as you need to maximize your learning experience. It will be academically rigorous. It will be challenging. But at the end of the day, it's going to be rewarding because you're going to be in a great position and you're going to be more prepared for your certification exam than you were before.
Yeah, thanks, Ed. And I think the issue with the longer version that we have now with all of our certification courses is this distraction factor, right? Because they're dealing with work-related issues and they're dealing with their course. And so in this case, where they're 100% engaged in Con 1400, it should make a big difference on them learning the material, I would think.
Oh, I think so. And the end of course surveys have already proven that when the students take this compressed course over a 5-day period and they don't have any distractions from workload or anything outside of the classroom, that they can really focus their attention. And then they're happy that they got it done early in 5 days versus 4 weeks. So that's a big plus.
All right, awesome. So again, Ed, thank you so much for coming on the show.
It's been my pleasure. Thank you for having me.
No problem. So all those out there listening, please, if you could, do us a favor, smash the like button, and do that either on DAU Media, YouTube, or Apple Podcasts. And for sure, if you could, put suggestions below in the comments for this video, and definitely take a look at our other videos. We have some really good ones out there that'll help you in your career. So thank you, and we look forward to having future contracting conversations with you.